I'm Nelson Williams for GameOgre.com, and I'm about to say something that might come as a shock to most of you. So sit down, chug a glass of something suitably numbing, and hold on. Ready yet? Good, here it is. There are MMOs that aren't fantasy. I know! No elves, no dragons, no sultry dark queens and their kingdoms of undeath. How can this be? Let's ask DC Universe Online. DC Universe Online, or Dooku as they say in the Valley, is an MMO version of Detective Comics DC, the guys who make Batman and Superman and all those other iconic overpowered walking I win buttons. That means you get to stumble around Gotham City, Metropolis, and all those other classic comic book cities that I'll totally remember if you give me a minute. The plot of Dooku goes a little like this. In the very near future, High King Jerk Lex Luthor decides to murder the strongest of Earth's heroes with a knockdown brawl in some conveniently abandoned strip of concrete rubble, despite the fact that these same heroes have spent the better part of their careers protecting the world from horrible alien invasions. 10 seconds after Luthor drops a kryptonite pig sticker through Superman's back, the horrible aliens show up and invade. It doesn't end well. Future Luthor spends the next few years swiping alien technology while the robot overlords pull apart Earth like an IKEA living room set. He steals a whole boatload of something called exobites, tiny robot horror shrimp that can give people superpowers. Exactly how is never explained, but I like to think it involves drilling into eyeballs. Exobites tucked under his arm, Luthor bails out through the handy time machine he happened to have around and spreads those eyeball-drilling mecha shrimp across the globe. The end result is sort of like a flu epidemic, but with less coughing and more shooting flames from your hands. The idea is to fill the world with supers, so when the aliens drop in, they'll find a planet consumed by the anarchy of a million godlings trying to carve up the world between themselves and, oh wait, wrong comic. The idea is to bolster the ranks of the heroes and villains of the world to produce the army that can stand against the alien menace. That's where you come in. Character creation involves picking your power types, say sorcery, ice powers, fire powers, gadgets, and the like. That's your character class. You also get to pick your favorite method of violence, be it martial arts, hand blasters, giant two-handed smashiness, or whatever. These two choices have a huge effect on how your character plays, because each has its own talent tree full of special moves and abilities. Your moves can sync up into combos for massive damage and control over the battlefield. Lastly, you also pick your mentor. This is interesting and somewhat unique to Dooku. Your mentor is an iconic hero or villain from the DC world, like Superman or the Joker. For the rest of the game, this character will give you missions and reward you with nifty gear that fits their theme. The Joker loads you up with techie gizmos and strange gadgets, while Superman offers you ways to improve your natural inborn superhumanity. Let's take a look at a character. This is Videogre, a vaguely humanoid monster who enjoys terrifying children and blasting bad guys with virtual reality illusions courtesy of his, well, illusion powers. His class is a mental hero. His fighting style involves smashing people with a two-handed weapon that could have been a telephone pole in a former life, and his mentor is Batman. That has nothing to do with Batman's tendency to surround himself with girls in skin-tight latex, and everything to do with Videogre being a total beast of technology, while Batman is the tech hero mentor. Say hello, Videogre. Now, let's have a look around DC Universe Online. Let's start our tour of DC Universe Online with the Safe House. This is your home base in a city, your refuge. There's a lot going on in the Safe House, and it can be identified by these huge pillars of light coming up from it. Our particular Safe House is located in Gotham City, and yes, that is the bat signal up there. You can see the bat symbol up against the clouds. Now, let's go on into the Safe House, shall we? Of course he can fly. All ogres can fly. Didn't you know? Inside the safe house are NPCs that can give you quests, like Batwoman here. And that was a fellow just leveling up after turning in his quest. Impressive, isn't it? Here you have the merchants, including that shrunken half-human thing over there, and the blonde guy in the suit. These can sell you equipment, but more importantly, they buy junk from you, as well as repair your gear when you need it. Very handy. Here's the most important part of the safe house, the mail room. Those terminals over there are where you can check your mail, receive items, do a lot of business. Over here is the teleporter. It allows us to enter the watchtower. The watchtower is kind of the central location for all good-doing people. It allows you to transport yourself from here to other places around the map, as well as other maps entirely, other cities like Metropolis. It's very handy. Get to know the watchtower. Let's wander the streets of Gotham a little bit. It's a very atmospheric city. As you can see up there, it has the blimp flying through the night sky. It's got the Gothic buildings with the spires and the gargoyles on top. It's got the floating alien invasion harvester ships in the sky. You know, typical Saturday. It's got working traffic. They don't just sit here at the stoplight. If you beat on them, they'll actually run. Zing! And they'll probably do silly things. Yep, see that car? Oh, that didn't end well. I'm going to take some points on my hero license for that. Oh, and there goes another one. It's a dangerous city for a reason, and the traffic doesn't help. Oh, that's going to hurt. Let's get up in the air so we stop causing cars to explode. That's probably bad. Over there, that's the alien invasion in progress. But over here, the dirty, filthy streets of Gotham. Oh, and I got a bonus. Hey, that's nice. See that glowy question mark? That's a collectible. There's a million of these things scattered around the city. They come in different flavors. Some give you information about the city, some give you little collectible items and goodies, and some give you clues as to your current investigation, your current quest line. You want to grab as many as you can. If you get enough of them on a certain theme, say all the clues in your quest line, you can get extra bonuses and extra goodies. Very nice. Let's go grab this one. Wayne Tech Seamaster Diving Watch. And Harvey Dent is on the nice list. Apparently a Christmas thing. Very nice. Let's get into trouble, shall we?
We can keep your stuff too.
Fighting in this game is based on combos.
Great. Now I'll never get to have Venom. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Venom is supposed to make me invincible.
Comboing your melee attacks like these with your powers like these. That's the way to success. And destroying Grandpa's air tanks. That helps too. Let's do it again.
The juice is Venom. I feel so strong. Ow! Ow, that really hurt. Man down. What gives?
And these guys are part of a quest, so they don't fall down on their own. So let's do just one last guy.
The juice is loose!
And boom. You can see my powers go off around me like there.
Ow, that really hurt! What gives?
Have some hammer. And that's fighting in DC Universe. It gets a little bit more complex and a little bit more hectic when you got more enemies and more of a team. But that's the basic gist of it. If you're looking for a superhero MMO, you have three choices: City of Heroes, Champions Online, and Dooku. Champions Online is dull and confusing, which leaves really only two. Between them, DC Universe Online feels much newer, sleeker, and faster. It's the little red hot rod of superhero gaming and sports all the trimmings and chrome to turn some heads. But, like a little red hot rod, all those trimmings and chrome mean nada when it slams into a brick wall. For Dooku, that wall is the endgame, where all the quests and plots just sort of smash into the bricks, spin out, and come to a final burning rest in a cloud of dust. Voice acting and cutscenes are expensive, so new content and updates to older content aren't exactly a common thing. Dooku also isn't a friendly game. Tips and hints pop up now and then, and NPCs jump in, sometimes literally, to let you know what's going on. But the game doesn't hold your hand. Several times I came across interfaces and items that I had no clue how to use. Even the Healy items you get in the tutorial go unexplained. I actually had to fiddle around with them just to figure out how to use items and heal myself. In the endgame, this becomes a real problem, as players who have never teamed up before are thrown into group raids with no experience playing as part of a team, or even really how to play their class. All classes have special team roles they can switch into, absolutely none of which is explained or trained in the solo game. The final verdict? Get it, play it, enjoy it. But whatever you do, don't take it seriously. There just isn't enough content in DC Universe Online to support a long-term relationship. Play this one like a console game. In for a few weeks of fun, then on to the next thing. Or the old thing. The elves miss you.